The Favourite, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, is a fantastic period piece set in the early 18th century during the war between Britain and France. The film centres around Queen Anne, portrayed by the very underrated Olivia Colman, and two other characters, Abigail and Sarah, portrayed by Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz respectively, who are vying to become the Queen's favourite. Now at the beginning, we see that Sarah is very much in control of the Queen, and often at times quite manipulative. Sarah is there at every meeting that Anne has with political powers, such as the Prime Minister or the Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Harley, to have her say on matters. Meanwhile, Abigail, who is Sarah's cousin, comes looking for work. She arrives covered in mud and surrounded by flies, which gives us an ultimately wrong impression of this character. Whilst at first she seems quite naive and she's working as a maid, we realise that she actually has other motives and is much more ambitious than just working as a maid here. Much of the film revolves around the competitiveness of Abigail and Sarah. We realise early on that the relationship between Queen Anne and Sarah is more than just professional, but that they are actually lovers. We find this out from the point of view of Abigail, which is one of the best scenes in the whole film. Emma Stone's facial reactions during her walk to the library to return the book are absolutely hilarious. Now, while Sarah becomes increasingly jealous of Abigail due to her becoming closer with the Queen, the stakes are raised between how far they are just willing to go to win the favour of Queen Anne. Now, despite the fact that she has two ladies fighting over her, Queen Anne's character is very tragic. She's very lonely. She's experienced an awful amount of loss in her life, symbolised by the 17 rabbits that she has in her room, which represent the children that she has lost through the years. Meanwhile, we know that Sarah and Abigail are both using the Queen for other motives. For Sarah, it's a way for her to have a big political say for her and her husband, whilst for Abigail, it's a way for her to become a lady once more, as she used to be. Now, I do think that this is Yorgos Lanthimos' most accessible film to date. Killing of a Sacred Deer in particular is a very unsettling watch, and whilst The Favourite isn't for everyone, it should definitely appeal to a wider audience. I also believe that this is Lanthimos' best film to date. Olivia Colman's performance is one of the best of the year. At first, Queen Anne appears to be quite petulant and almost childlike, but she is somebody that very quickly we begin to feel sorry for, and that is the thanks in part to Colman's portrayal. I love Emma Stone in this. I genuinely believe it's her best performance to date, and wildly different to La La Land and Birdman, which in themselves are very different to each other. Rachel Weisz is absolutely exquisite and has such an elegant screen presence in the movie. And the way that these actors are able to have us changing sides is a testament to their talent. 1 minute we'll be rooting for Emma Stone's character, the next we'll be rooting for Rachel Weisz's character, and then we will switch back again, and it's absolutely wonderful to see. Some of the supporting performances as well from Joe Alwyn as the character that is absolutely infatuated with Abigail, and also Nicholas Hoult, who plays the leader of the opposition, Mr. Harley. They are both really fun to have on screen, and I think they both give some of their best performances of their careers as well. The script by Deborah Davis and Tony McNamara deserve equally as much praise. The film is incredibly witty and it manages to find humour in the most subtle ways. Many of the lines, such as "let's shoot something," I think are going to become absolutely iconic in years to come because they represent a change in the film's tone. The film is an example of a perfect script being impeccably translated to screen through amazing work from some of these actors. Lanthimos' direction choices give the film a very different feel. Much of the time we see that the camera is positioned in a variety of different ways. For example, as a carriage drives past, we see that the camera is positioned on the floor and we look up at the carriage, and in other situations we see the camera on the wall or on a roof, and we the audience feel like a fly on the wall watching all this drama unfold, and it's really great because it gives us a very different feel and a different atmosphere than we're used to seeing at the cinema. The music, whilst not original, is also superb and deserves a mention. The selection of music from French composer Luc Ferrari at particular scenes of the film gives the film a very eerie feeling, especially in the most intense scenes in the film, such as when Abigail burns her hand while scrubbing the floor. The costume design is also impeccable and deserves a mention. Costume designer Sandy Powell is, for my money, the best costume designer on the planet right now. She also did the costumes for Mary Poppins Returns, and she cannot do any wrong. And this is also incredible work from her, which should hopefully bring her an Oscar. Overall, I think that The Favourite is without doubt one of the best films from 2018. I was very lucky to see it at the London Film Festival and have seen it in cinemas since in the UK. And every time, audiences have erupted with laughter at the right moments. And it is a testament to the actors, the director and the script of how funny, but also how dramatic and how touching this film can be at times. This is my very first video here, so I would much appreciate it if you could share this, like this, give me feedback, and also let me know in the comments if you've seen The Favourite, what you thought of it. I would love to know everybody's opinions. But for now, thank you. See you later.